Okay, so last few minutes of sunlight. Let's get stuck in. Today I want to talk on leverage. Kicking off with a quote from one of the GOATs. So Naval says, arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Most of us have two out of the three of Naval's conditions for wealth creation. The one that we're missing is leverage. We work a job where we're paid to perform a specific set of tasks, specific knowledge. We show up for work every day. We have to be accountable to our boss, so we have accountability. The part that we're missing is the leverage. So we're going to be talking about this word a lot. I want to preface it. My favorite definitions that I've come across over the years are: leverage is breaking the correlation between input and output. Leverage is doing the least amount of work possible to achieve the most output. And lastly, leverage is using something other than your own time to get the job done. So we all know what a lever is. This man you can see now is leveraging the stick to lift the rock. Without the rock, he would not be able to lift it. Our job is to build the stick. Now we'll go over all the different types of leverage in the next part. The more leverage we apply, the less input we need. The more leverage we have, the more output we can generate. Therefore, our focus is going to be on generating as much leverage as possible. So we're going to cover the different types of leverage now so you can see where to best focus your efforts on. Naval has categorized leverage into three main types: workforce, capital, and product. Workforce is using people or paying people to get the job done for you. So going back to the rock example, utilizing workforce leverage would be paying someone or a group of people to come and lift the rock for you. Workforce leverage is difficult because it's dealing with people. It requires management. People are different, complex. Personally, in my business, I'm looking to minimize as much headaches as possible, so I will utilize other forms of leverage. The next form of leverage is capital. In today's society, a much more effective form of leverage. It's basically using your money to make more money, multiplying money. It's all well and good. However, you need capital to multiply your capital. And I'm guessing part of the reason why you're watching this is you want some more capital. The last form of leverage is product, specifically products with little to no marginal cost to reproduce. You can make something one time and sell it an infinite number of times. Examples of this are code, media, podcasts, YouTube videos, courses, ebooks, digital products, software, subscriptions. All of these things can be made once, sold a million times. If you're thinking that you don't have the information to make a product, if you have successfully solved any problem in your life, how you got from A to B is a product. People don't pay for new information. They pay for speed and ease of assimilation. How quickly can people digest the content? If it takes you 3 weeks to research something, if you can put that in a format where someone can learn it in 2 days or 1 day, that is worth their time. You get paid £130 for a day's work. Anytime you spend more than that compiling information means that product is worth that value. Everyone has a product in their head. If you can't think of what yours is, spend 6 months researching a topic in depth. Now that we've covered the types of leverage, we'll go over the tools of leverage. Tool is the medium in which the leverage is going to be applied. Main leverage tools are skills, the internet, capital, labor, and product. Before beginning, we want to determine which form of leverage we're going to be applying and through which medium. Any combination of these will work. It all just depends on the person's free time, their risk appetite, how much capital they have, how much free time they have. So for someone who's studying, they have a lot of free time, but not a lot of capital. So for them, it would be worth investing their time, gathering specific knowledge, because they don't want to invest more capital into building their leverage. Use what we have. If you have time, invest time. Time is not leverage, but it can be used to make leverage. Capital is leverage. If you have capital, if you've traded your time for money, you have utilized your time to build leverage. It's a cheap trade-off though. Your time is worth so much more than you're being paid for. If someone has decided your hourly rate, it's so much lower than what you can actually be charging. If you're a student, you likely have low capital and lots of time. Utilize your time to build specific knowledge, create a product around this, and utilize that as your leverage. On the other hand, if you're someone with a full-time job, you likely don't have much time. However, you are being paid, so you have capital, so you can leverage the capital. An example of what this student could do is, if they liked football, they could pick their favorite football team. They could spend a few weeks documenting all of the information about this club, their trophy history, their biggest transfers, future prospects, their best starting 11. When creating this, think what you as a fan would like, and then make it too good to fail. Once the product is created, We then need traffic. The form of traffic we use is going to be person dependent. If you have time but no capital, create your own content. You could create a Twitter account and start posting daily updates on your club. You already have your target audience, your club's fans. Conversely, if you have a full-time job, pay someone to run ads. Either learn how to do it yourself or utilize your capital, leverage your capital to pay someone else. So then you're applying two forms of leverage, capital and labor leverage, to get the product in front of people. The lumberjack said if he had 5 minutes to cut down a tree, he would use the first 3 minutes to sharpen his axe. Here, the lumberjack is talking about building as much leverage as possible before applying it. Once we've identified where our resources are best put, it's time to go all in. Every available minute, every available resource, capital should be invested in making our stick longer, into building our leverage. Imagine a pole vaulter. The bigger their pole, the more leverage they have to get over. We have the opportunity to build a longer pole. If you imagine life as a pole vault competition, we literally can make our pole longer than other people. That sounds very... How big's your pole, bro? I always try and remember that we are building the stick that's gonna lever us, propel us into our new life, free from having to work for anyone, free from having to be tied down to a location, to have to ask to go on holiday, to have to go to work if we're feeling sick. It's going to take time. It's going to be painful. It is going to be worth it. If you're still here, thank you so much.